Welcome to my YouTube channel English Lovers by Honeydee everybody. So today I am with another video which is on IELTS examination. The kids who or the youngsters who are preparing for this exam, I'm gonna help them out in some way. Like first of all, we will come to the screen and I'll let you know that we will like discuss something before actually starting understanding the whole thing up. Yeah, first thing first is like vocabulary is one of the element which is very much necessary as far as your IELTS exam is concerned. And when it comes to sorry for that, when it comes to writing task two particularly, then they tell you something to write on and they give you a topic and the topic has to be somehow related to education stuff, tourism, depending upon the kind of person who is setting up the examination. But most probably what they ask you about is like to use the same kind of vocabulary that they expect. Like if the topic is about education, for example, here we have the first thing in our mind, like that is education. If the topic is about education, then you have to use maximum number of words which are related to the term education or related to the field education. So if you are not using those terms which are related to education, then definitely you are going to miss some marks for that, because we know that like how do they divide your marks, particularly when it comes to the like task two in IELTS examination. So what do they see in your vocabulary stuff is they check out like there is a particular term which is quite known to the people who are preparing for the IELTS examination, that is lexical word. They check your usage of the lexical word and vocabulary. Like basically they want to see and they give you 25 marks, 25% marks of the lexical vocabulary. So when it comes to the use of any of the vocabulary term that has, for example, the topic is education, then the terms related to education are very common when we know that. Like if we talk about grades, grades is also one of the term that we see or we hear in education. We talk about teachers, we talk about educators, and if we talk about papers, if we talk about examination, if we talk about what else, library, if we talk about resources in education, then all of them come in the field of education. When it comes to learning, all those words like pedagogy, like word related or whatsoever, education related, study related, all the vocabulary words will come or fall in the field of education. So that's why you should know about the related terms. For example, if you talk about kitchen or if you talk about tourism, then whatsoever words that come in tourism must be the part of your vocabulary when you are trying to say or explain something. It's not like the repetition of the statements that you are expected to write with. You are expected to write with optimum vocabulary and optimum grammar. That means all of them are divided into 25% each. Like I mean to say, whatsoever score you're going to get, if you are going to give your bit of your time for preparing your vocabulary, preparing your grammar, preparing your sentence formation, like coherence and cohesion, when you're going to learn all such things, then I think you will get great score. So without any further delay, let's come to the topic. Like the topic is education. I gave you example also like how it is. So if we talk about education, education is quite a broad topic. We can't actually measure the kind of words that are to be learned in education. All things come as a part of education. Here, if we talk about this particular lesson that I'm gonna talk about, we will discuss as many words as possible related to education. So whatsoever time I would be utilizing, like I have, I think around 25 minutes left in the library. So I'll be utilizing that. So this is really broad topic. I told you before that one. Any part of ELDS can challenge you with questions related to the education. So we therefore need to focus on this topic as well. So what you have to do is you should know about the term secondary education, what actually secondary education is. Like in the US, secondary education refers to the school studies or the grades 9 to 12. And even in India, when we say like 10th standard, it's high school. Okay. Then we say senior secondary education, like we say like +1 grade or +2 grade, they come in the form of secondary school education. So a typical next academic milestone is what we call higher education. So whatsoever higher education comes after your secondary education would be the part of that. Like it's all up to you that whether you want to pursue your higher education or not. But the basic education or basic educational needs are up to secondary education, and if you're getting that one, that's really good. So you should know about the term secondary education, like the grades 9 to 12, that culminates into that. But when it comes to like higher education, when we talk about higher education or the college studies, we can find the synonyms or try to write the synonyms of the same, like college studies or university education or something like that. If we are going further in the educational field, or diploma, or the certificates that we get, 1 year certificate. You see, the term came here, like that is certificate. What is certificate? Like for short academic programs, when you are applying for like 1 year program or 6 months program, or 1 sem or 2 sem programs like are there, then you're getting a certificate after the completion of the program. So then after the completion, you're getting a certificate. The certificate has to be the part of your vocabulary when you're writing something related to the certificate, or the receiving of the certificate in your essay writing, like how generally the trend is or something is related to that. And I mean to say that basically, if you should know that, like how you're using the terms, okay, how you're using the terms, and how they are valid enough to be used in your essay. That is all up to you, and it depends upon the kind of statement that you're getting as a question in like in your second like task. So then diploma, what is diploma? Diploma is university level program, shorter than a degree program. Like it won't be a bachelor degree, it won't be 3 year program, it won't be like 2 years or some other course, but it'll be 1 year program, or can be like, it can be 3 year program, but it won't be giving you any kind of degree. But in India, we remember that like when we were through our 10th standard, we were like given an option to actually go for the engineering field. After that, like we had to give one examination, and we had to get into the engineering stuff from 10th onwards itself. So it depends, like if you're like doing your 3 year studies, then you are receiving a diploma. And if you're doing your 5 years program, then integrated program, then you are getting the degree. So degree is something related to the long academic programs, like as it is mentioned here, covering specific areas in the great depth. Like for example, when you start, you are starting with the first year, that would be very common one, very easy one to be gone through. But when we are going to pursue further in the next years, to the next years, and the semesters to the next semesters, then you're going to see that difficulty level is going to rise up to a great height. So you have to be very careful when you're opting for the degree. And obviously the persons who are going for the degrees, they will definitely get the occupation in the same field, and they try to get the occupation in particular related field only. Like for example, if somebody is doing the computer science engineering, then the person is going to be a software engineer, or the person who is actually a mechanical engineer would definitely opt for something related to the mechanical field, or something related to like some other fields which are possible to be there in the engineering. Or the people who are the law pursuers, then the people who are they're doing bachelor degree. That all depends upon the kind of education that you want to receive after your senior secondary classes are over, and then after that one, then that comes your like certificate, diploma, degrees, and all that stuff. Okay, so traditionally the first degree you acquire is a bachelor's degree. Like in India also, we had that system. Like people were not opting for ITI that much, like, but the people were more prone to, getting into the bachelor degree. Most probably, like in our area in Punjab, we used to go to the Punjab University for our bachelor degree. And sometimes the people, like the way I did it from open learning, like USOL, University School of Open Learning, Punjab University. So then side by side I was doing some work. But the thing is, so everyone prefer to go through the bachelor degree. Same way for the people who are pursuing law, and it all depends upon which field you are actually in. Like you are from arts field, you are from non-medical, you are from medical, you are from science field, or the commerce field, or whichsoever field you are from. So it all depends upon that. So traditionally the first degree was called as bachelor's, and then you can do the masters. Like I have done the masters also, masters in English, but I haven't done the PhD. PhD is doctorate in philosophy, or something like that. Somebody who has gotten the doctorate degree can write himself or herself as a doctor in India. I don't know about the procedures here in Canada, but I know that when you are doctorate, then you are free to write, you know, in your with your signatures that you're a doctor. So people who are getting the like that degree, the PhD. So PhD courses may be a mix of theory and the practice in your chosen subject. Like in PhD, you have to go to another level, or there is another term like, yeah, MPhil. There is another term like MPhil, Masters of Philosophy or something like that. So Doctorate of Philosophy comes after the MPhil. If people are doing MPhil, they can become lecturers. They can teach in the colleges. But the people who are PhD, they get to the higher position, higher strata in their field. You know, but they actually are the book writers. Sometimes they are also the university professors. So it all depends, like which field they are from. They have to write thesis, and that's also possible to be done. And okay, now further, to start your studies in the recognized university, you normally have to meet the specific requirement. So let's talk about them in the specific vocabulary. Then that vocabulary must be known to you, so that whenever you're making or framing statements related to that in educational stuff, then you should know about these terms in a clear sense. Now, the next, just wait, I'm losing my annotator multiple times. I don't know what the hell is going on. Now, entry admissions. What are entry admissions? Entry admissions are requirements for the prospective students, like the people or the pupils or the learners or the youngsters who have their interest, you know, in certain like certain field. They have to go through the entry admissions. Okay, so that could be expressed as your minimum grade level during your previous studies. That means you will be told that that is the minimum requirement that you have. The minimum score is specified also. That after that one, you're going to get as entry admissions. So entry admissions are the requirements. These are those prerequisites that you want to, like, for example, if you want to go for your bachelor degree, you need to have your senior secondary education. So that is entry admissions for your bachelor degree. Then when it comes to the next one, like, that is standardized tests. Like people go for the standardized tests. Like if in our case, if I talk about 2007, we were told to give CET examination, AIEEE examination. Now there is a common test for all of them, but these are standardized tests, which actually, standardized tests would be those tests like which will tell about your standard, and will also be called as the entrance requirement for many of the examination for business, like GMAT, ACT, TOEFL, IELTS. We know that to come to Canada or to come to any other country, like you need to go through some kind of examination like CELPEP in Canada. We have seen that also. We know about that. So there are lots of terms that you should know about, like these standardized tests. So first of all, you should pronunciate the word also, and then it can be within your knowledge for a long time. Like more you're going to speak, more you're going to keep that in the mind. Like more you're going to be having it as an active vocabulary, more will be the chances that it will stay with you, the word will stay with you, I mean to say. Then another way to say these standardized tests is the entrance requirements. Like entrance requirements for foreign country education is IELTS examination in India first, and then for America you can go for TOEFL examination. Then yeah, these are the entrance requirements. So when we say entrance requirements, whatsoever is required to get entered into the other like country or education system of the other country, that would be the entrance requirement. Now education, I mean to say that you have to focus on the education word. So while choosing your future institution, you consider a number of aspects such as university ranking, what your rank is, how like how good you are at studies, and what score have you done in your entrance examination, have you gotten the university ranking or not, or the curricula. Okay, like what your curriculum is, like what you have learned. Like we will stop here, as even the slide says, or the PDF says. Curriculum is another like super popular term. Curriculum, I told you, like I know about curriculum, more of it. So it means that the content taught in a specific academic program. So if there is any certain academic program, and then whatsoever content of the subject matter, or whatsoever is the curriculum of that would be there, that would be known as curricula. Or by curriculum we often mean courses offered by a school. Like whatsoever subjects, whatsoever like fields that you have for yourself, that is the curriculum. Like for example, the person who does the non-medical studies in India, we say the science students, and these science students have to go through different examination than those who are going through the medical. Just a minute. That's my mistake. My bad. I have to open that again. Yeah. So that is that. What I was saying, I was talking about the curriculum. So in case of non-medical students, we were prepared to prepare ourselves for physics, chemistry, maths. But if we are doing medical studies, we can be exempted from like math subject. But if we are doing super medical, then we have to go for both of them, biology and maths too. Like for medical students, like it's only and only like biology. But if it is non-medical, then the pupils or the learners had to go through what we say, maths also. Maths only, I mean to say that. But if it is super medical, both of the subjects, then it's very difficult to actually go by that. Like if you are preparing for the super medical, you can actually get into a fuss, and sometimes you lose focus also. But people who are very much focused, they try to actually opt for that. So it all depends upon person to person, and how do they take it. Like how do they take the studies, do they take the stress on the mind or not. So if they are willing enough to actually learn every day, every night, like throughout the day, throughout the night, if they are willing to do that, then definitely they need not to be worried about anything. Like they can study 24 into 7. So that's the only thing that they do in life. So I don't think so then they will face any problem or any hurdle for themselves. Then let's continue with that. Like another important thing that you should know about is tuitions. We say tuitions, like, which is wrong. So it is tuitions, because after t sound there is u sound. Tuitions, it is tuition. And tuition is the amount of the study that you get, and tuition is always followed by the fee. So tuition fee. Okay, cost of attendance, like whatsoever classes that you have taken, you have attended them not for free, you have to give some amount for that. That means when you are getting anything for free, it's not tuition, then okay, obviously it's a charity. But when you're giving, when we are giving the money, that means you have given the cost of attendance, you have given the cost of attending any of the class. So basically it's a money you have to invest in your studies. Tuition fees are what you pay directly to the university, and the cost of attendance includes food, housing, transportation, books, and supplies. Whatsoever is there inside that would be the part of that. Now, next is top tier institutions. Top tier institutions would be like top institutions where you're getting the education. So top tier institutions would be another useful expression, which means leading or prestigious institutions, like which are known one. IITians, they when they prefer for engineering, people who study in IIT, then they are given the jobs on the preference of that. Then it all depends upon that. So that's what I'm saying, like top tier institutions would be those one who are prestigious ones, the people who like them the most, and people prefer to go there because they get the job based upon the prestigiousness of any institution, or the leadingness of any institution, how great any institution is in providing the help and assistance in getting the job also. So uh, these institutions often charge thousands of the dollars yearly. So to ease the burden on their budgets, mainly students apply for the financial aid. Financial aid is also one of the terms that you can remember when you are writing an essay based upon education. So if you require the financial aid, that's another thing. Aid means help. Financial means like monetary help. So it could come in the form of the scholarship, like if you are very much good in your studies and you have gotten a great score, or above 95, above 99, so then obviously you will get some scholarship. And if you're getting the scholarship, then definitely your chances are good that like you will be getting it done for free. You need not to pay that much. So what is scholarship? Scholarship is the money for your education awarded based on the various criteria defined by the sponsor, like whomsoever is sponsoring you. How good is your character, how good you are in studies, how good is your score. Based upon all such things, you're getting some scholarship. Like it depends upon, if you have done some volunteer work also, then you are getting the scholarship. If you're doing some good work, then you are getting the scholarship. So there are a number of scholarship schemes run by governments, charities and other organizations. Now, moving further down the lane, we got some more words. So there are other forms of financial aid. Like financial aid is not only in the form of scholarships, but also in the form of bursaries, grants, fellowships, and scholarships. As you got to know, that's what are scholarships. Scholarships are awarded for the scholastic achievements. Scholarship itself means it starts with scholar, like scholar means a student. If you have done something good in school, then definitely whatsoever is your scholastic achievement, based upon that, you will get some money back. Now, thereafter, bursaries. What are bursaries? Bursaries are the awards on the basis of financial need. So it is certain type of social financial help, actually societal help. It's you getting. So then thereafter, grants. We know that what are grants. So governmental grants, or the kind of public grants that you get, are the funds provided by a certain party. Particularly it can be any political party also, who would be giving you grants also. And the government who is in the power, like who is running the country, would provide you some grants. So we got lots of terms related to education, like UGC also, that is University Grant Commission. And then that grant commission will grant you something for that, like certain party of the government. Okay, that's fine, that's done. Now next is fellowships. What are fellowships? Fellowships usually refer to the grants in support of the post baccalaureate projects, like like it can be your co-ops or something related to that. Fellowships are that. All scholarships and the fellowships are grant need not to be prepaid. You need not to prepay for that. So presidential candidate Hillary Clinton called for cutting student debt. We know that. What is student debt? That means the amount of money you owe. So they cut that one. It's just a statement. Now some learning modes. We're going to talk about some learning modes, the way we learn things. Okay, so learning modes would be the ways we learn things. The typical decision for most students is to study full time. Like when they study full time, they get lots of benefits, and they are awarded with the, what we say, they are awarded with the postgraduate work permit also in Canada. So full time is better. It's one of the way, like you are studying from Monday to Friday in the college. You're just joining the classes. That's a full time. That means you need you are not supposed to take leaves like that. Like the way we are, if we are part-time studying, then we are going for the 2 days, and then rest of the days we are working. But if you are a full-time student, then you are studying from Monday till Friday. So that's full-time. You should know about it. Then there is part-time studying. What is part-time studying? Is more realistic solution. You can also choose distant education, distantly study, or online program, or e-learning we call it. Okay, people prefer during the corona period, they prefer a lot of online programming, or even there was no other channel or the way that anyone could go through. So that's why distant education or distance education came into being in India. I did my graduation from distance learning. It was open schooling. I told you that before. But there are chances, like you are getting little less importance or significance. I don't know like why, but still people prefer only those people, or the organization prefer only those people who have done it full time, or they have done the regular studies in India. I'm not talking about Canada, but I hear it doesn't matter. Like if you have the skill, you will get the job. If you know that work, then you will get the job. So via some a trendy online program, you can also learn, and you might prefer a combination on for on campus or distance studying, which is called as blended mode. Blended mode, like blended mode is like you sometimes you're like learning on computer, or sometimes you're going there in the college and studying. A blend itself means a mix of it, mixed mode. So mixed mode it is. Blended mode, many of them prefer, and even I preferred the same. Then MOOC, MOOC. What is MOOC? Is a recent development in the distance education, rapidly gaining popularity. That is massive open online course. So it is online course that has open access and interactive participation published on the web. So Coursera like is also one of them. Coursera, which emerged thanks to Stanford University professor in 2012, has by far the largest number of the courses, offer courses, right? Now thereafter, there are some terms that you should know, the phrases that you should know about these. First is to revise. What do you mean by revising something? Like what you have done before, that you're trying to improve yourself, and you're finding some things wrong in them, and you're trying to get them out and correcting them. So that's to revise, to make changes, especially to correct or improve something, or study again. You should know about the word revise. Revise can be used as a term, which can be used as action verb in your like essay writing. So to enroll means to get into a course, or in simple terms it means that to get into a course. Enroll itself means like it can be in a degree course, or it can be any other course, but to get into any course or become a participant of a course, it can be called as to be enrolled into some courses. Okay. Now, thereafter, there is another term called to review. To review. Review means like to see it again, to look at or examine it carefully before making any final decision. So when you are making any final decision, you have to So we are back. There is some internet issue in the library. So I am most probably going to just get it done. Like, just wait for a while. I have to just open the same page again. Uh-oh. Yeah. So we are back on the same page. Like I told you, like we were talking about the word research. What does it stand for? To research means to study carefully and to collect information about for something. Like if you are collecting the information or you are doing some uh, research, or that re means you are doing it again, and search means like we know that we are finding something. When we are finding something or collecting information for something again for our study purpose, that means we are doing some research. Okay, for that. To attend means when we are to be present somewhere, we have to reach there on time, and to go to or to be present at some event for some time means to attend it, or it can be for church prayers also. Did you attend the previous day like church prayer? 10 means itself like to be present for some time. And another term is to major in a subject. Major in a subject itself stand for like you have done some extra study work into that, or to pursue an academic major. Like if I was I was taking my English subject as well as some other subjects alongside, but I finally decided that I'll do masters in English. So English was my majors. And even if I'm going further down the lane, then if I would say that I would do PhD in a certain field or MPhil in a certain field, then I have to choose a certain subject for that. So to deliver a lecture, next one is to deliver a lecture. Like to give a lecture, it means to carry out a lecture or to conduct a lecture. When you're giving a lecture, or the students are there sitting in front of you, um, that is to deliver a lecture. So you can remember that the delivery of the lecture was perfect. If you remember, if you want to remember it as a sentence, delivery of lecture was perfect because every example was given, every related anecdote was spoken. So the delivery was great. So to graduate means to graduate from the university. To graduate from university itself stands for to earn a degree or the diploma from the school, college, or university. Then next is to keep up with. To keep up with means to keep up with your studies. That means to go or make progress at same rate as others. Like you're not behind them, you're not ahead of them, you're not actually, yeah, there is a cutthroat competition that you are actually measuring it, and then you're getting good score. So that's the thing. To keep up with means like to be on the same level, like to reaching at the same level, or to reach equally to the same level of the other person. So to demonstrate academic gains would be like how your progress is, how good you are in studies. So that would be your academic progress or educational achievement. To broaden horizons means to actually increase your, or expand your or enlarge your scope. If you're enlarging that scope, would be your case of broadening the horizons. Horizons means area or the periphery that you have, or the kind of learning stuff that you have. And if you're increasing that one, for example, you are learning in University of Manitoba, and then your horizon has broadened up to the University of Winnipeg, and then to the world-renowned universities. So then that's, you're broadening your horizons. Horizons itself means your periphery, your area, or the kind of boundaries. If you have, then you are increasing those boundaries. That would be enlarging your scope. So to fall behind, that means it's a opposite or the antonym for to keep up with. To keep up with means to be equal to the other people in studies. To fall behind means to lag behind or to be less in comparison to the rest of the people, or to the sum of the people. To evaluate means what is the meaning of evaluation? Evaluate means to actually examine. So evaluate stands for to determine or fix a value of something, or to determine the significance of the worth or the condition of, usually by carefully appraisals and just a second, gain the same thing. Now, now, we were talking about evaluation. Evaluation means to evaluate, to examine, or to see through the things, or to determine or fix the value of something. Now, that's a very beautiful term, that is to procrastinate. Procrastination is done like to put off intentionally the doing of something that you should be done. So when you're thinking for the long time and you don't know like what to do, what you're doing is you're procrastinating. You're thinking of the thing for a long time, but you don't know, like the delay in decision making. It, in simple terms, you can remember that the delay in decision making would be procrastination. So to procrastinate means to put off intentionally the doing of something that should be done. And there is also a short list of the great words that don't fit into any of the category. So you should know about them, but somehow like these terms are important one, like campus. Campus, the area or the building around the university, that is known as campus. Like we say Winnipeg campus or Winnipeg University campus, or the area or the periphery or the what we say like premises of a certain institution would be your campus. So college campus or school campus or university campus, you can use the term in any sense. Then we have the term essay. Essay is a short piece of writing that tells a person's thoughts, I guess, and the opinions also, like about a subject. Then essay is written in a structured form, like introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. We know that already. So that's essay, short piece of writing that tells a person's thoughts or opinion about a subject or a topic that is given to him. Debate. What is debate? Debate means discussion. Usually people take it in another sense, like the word fight. It's not a word fight, it is discussion between people in which they express different opinions about something. Then there is a term called attendance. Attendance is very much necessary. In our case, 90% was the thing that was to be there, but I think I got 100% only. Attendance, the number of people present at the event or the meeting or the act of being present at a place would be attendance. And then there is another term called compulsory. Compulsory is something which cannot be, you can't acquit of that, like required by the law or the rule, or having the power of forcing someone to do something, like which has a power to do something, like you, which has supervision on you, or compulsion is there, obligation is there. So when there is obligation, that means it is compulsory. Then there is inquisitive. Inquisitive is the person who is curious to know more things, like tending to ask questions, having a desire to know more. So the person who is keenly interested in things, then the person is inquisitive about things. So the pronunciation is quite clear, I guess. Inquisitive. So dissertation or desert is different. Dissertation is a long piece of writing about a particular subject that is done to earn an advanced degree at a university. So it can be thesis, it can be, yeah, it can be thesis, it can be for PhD, it can be for like university learning or university studies. Then there is the term called discipline. Discipline is everywhere necessary field of study, it is. Then if field of study here, it means to say any subject has a synonym that is called discipline. Like for example, if I'm doing studies in human resource management, that is my discipline. So here it is a field of study, but discipline, we know that it is also required as far as a moral requirement is concerned. Also morality is required too. So faculty means the branch of teaching or learning in an education institution. Like basically what we know about it is like the teaching faculty or the people who are teaching us, the branch of teaching or learning in an education institution. That's the same thing somehow. Faculty would be the one like who are the teachers who are teaching us and helping us in some way. And there can be other teams also, technical team also. Technical faculty would be different one. So it depends upon which faculty, which team we are talking about. So then thereafter we have peer. Peer word is a person who belongs to same age group. Okay. And we say peer checking. Usually in school learning, we had this term peer checking, social group as someone else. So it can be that too, but peer checking usually is done in the school time. I remember that, but in college time also, I guess the peer checking is done too. Then literacy. What is literacy? The ability to read and write. Your whether you are educated or not, that is your literacy. Knowledge that relates to the specified subject. Sorry. Then there is term called alumnus. Alumnus. It's a plural. Alumni is singular. Like someone who was a student of a particular institution or a college or a university, that is alumnus. Okay, number of students. Like if we say assignment, what is assignment? Assignments are so many assignments here. Like assignments is the kind of work or the regular work that you get every week from the teacher, that you have to do some task and you have to do it in APA formation, like APA style. So a specified task or the amount of work assigned or undertaken as if assigned by authority would be called as assignment. So thesis, as we talked about dissertation, same way thesis is there, a long piece of writing in a particular subject that is done to earn a degree at the university. So when you want to earn a degree at the university, you want to go through that. Yeah. So this is it. So these were some of the terms. I must say that these were some of the terms that we all should know about education. But there are other simple terms also. It's not about like, it's not a mandation on you that you have to know all these terms, then only you will get good score. But I must tell you that if you really want to get good score in your IELTS second task, I must tell you that you should know the basics first. And then if you are writing naturally and your words are very much natural, and these words should come natural, it should not be you're trying to fix them up into the system. So when you are using them naturally in your word flow, then I think you will get better score. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye bye.